as soon as I arrived here at OIZ, and it was really, really important for me as a student. Thank you all, girls. So I'll start by sharing my screen with you. Just let me know if you can see it. Maybe not yet. Now, can you see it?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
good. So the title of my thesis is, for a while, the Trans-Complex Teacher in Action, and I will tell you a little bit later why. As Sudashri has already introduced to me, I'm from São Paulo, from PUC, São Paulo, as we say. Our program is Applied Linguistics and Language Studies, and I am sponsored by CAPES, that is a Brazilian institution who paid for me to be here, studying a little bit more and trying to deepen a little bit more my knowledge. So I also would like to thank them. And then moving on, I have here my research is not only based on me or my studies, but also people that are part of my life and that are part of my journey. So, first of all, I would like to thank my family and my friends for all the support, for all the encouragement, especially from my family. From my friends, I would also like to thank them, especially Marina and Solange, for being amazing friends, for being truly competent professionals and serious, skilled researchers. So it was really important for me to have this background and their support. I would like to thank Professor Maximina Freire, that couldn't be here today, but for all her support, guidance, partnership, and academic, showing me her academic path. It was important. The same Professor Enrica Picardo, because it was through her that I got nice, important supervision, teaching, for her intelligence, warmth, and kindness to receive me so uh, openly in having me here at her program, and also for Sir and Noisy to accept me and treat me like one of you. So it was really kind from you guys. And then going on, everything started from my master's, because I could identify through my master's that there was a gap between what teachers idealize as being a teacher and what they really face in their daily life. So teachers, I could find that teachers face a kind of tension between their aim as philosophical aim and their current practice. And this was something that kept there bothering me since I could discover it. And then this tension made me think, maybe going ahead, advancing a step, and thinking like, why do teachers do what they do? Why they do the way they do? Yeah, and then it led to my PhD thesis, and then I could find that teachers already know that the world we are living in terms of school is not enough. They already know complaining is not enough. Blaming the system is not enough, because sometimes we just complain as teachers like, oh, the government doesn't provide the support I need. But maybe government will never give me all the support I need. They will never reach 100% of the problems we face. So teachers already identify that the world we are living since the 1800s, like the Cartesian knowledge is not enough anymore. So then I thought, what if I could show teachers a different epistemological background, and maybe they could change their practices? Could that be possible? Would that change their practice? Would they do it? And then for that, I would like to talk a little bit about some of my theoretical framework. So as I use complexity theories, yes, more grounded on Morin epistemology from complexity theories, yes, like from Edgar Morin and not Larsen Freeman, for example. But we could identify that the school we have today is still too Cartesian, compartmentalized, isolated, siloed. That linear instruction in terms of depositing knowledge into students is not enough, or it doesn't work anymore. It doesn't correspond to the school we have nowadays and to the needs students show nowadays. So the proposal is to bring a different epistemological approach, a different way of understanding knowledge, a different way of learning. And then it would be this kind of transition. I don't believe it is the only answer, but it is an answer, maybe a way to try doing things in a different form. And from that, based on that, we need to change our epistemological way of thinking. And I believe that changing our background, inevitably we start having different actions. It generates different actions. So aiming to transform the practice, we must first transform the paradigm if we identify it right. So I will start talking a little bit about my theoretical framework. And for my thesis, I have the theoretical framework for the thesis and a theoretical framework for the course I'm going to develop for teachers, but they are kind of the same. So for the thesis, I start with the complexity theory that we are more based, or at least I am more based, more grounded on Edgar Morin. This theoretical framework is built upon three converging areas, that is complexity, transdisciplinarity, and teaching development. Through Morin lens that is a little bit different from Larsen Freeman, for example. He considers what is complexes from the knowledge that is interwoven, that is constructed together. So instead of silos, we can connect all ideas, all areas, and also connect previous knowledge. So we can do everything together. As far as we are learning, we are connecting different knowledges from different sources. So complexes knowledge that is not a collection of isolated facts, but which is woven together, and with the idea of connecting and reconnecting. Morin also considers imprevisibility, unpredictability, uncertainty, and all these not control that we face in life. So we should also consider that when we are talk about life and learning. My next pillar is transdisciplinarity, that one of the most important authors is Basarab Niculescu, but I'm not just grounded on him. And he talks about the hidden third and different levels of reality. So what is that? Because he's a physicist. So what is that? Well, from his point of view, when we change our level of reality, we understand that is something new. So learning is not a linear process. Learning is not certain. So that's not why it doesn't mean that we are doing something in a certain direction that the outcome will be something else. So maybe we never know. or we try to do this way, but maybe the outcome is something different. So we must be prepared for that, and we must be prepared to discover different things in the way. My third pillar for the theoretical framework for the thesis is teacher development. And then I will count on the complexity theory course I had here at OISE, because I really would like to try to use as well Larson Freeman theory, Sarah Mercer, that I think she really talks about complexity theories, and also Freire and Leffa that talks about um, how we can organize all complexity and the complexity theory thoughts and transdisciplinarity into teaching. So they kind of organizing that, considering the action ecology. So a fluid living environment where teaching, learning, and adapting continuously feed into one another. So action ecology is something really important in this process, right? So sometimes we need to readjust the route. And then I aim, my aim here is to reach the transcomplex teacher. Well, here I hyphenized the word transcomplex, but there is no order of importance. For me, both are important at the same level. It's just a question of choice. For me, transcomplex sounds better than complex trans teacher, for example. And I understand that transdisciplinarity is part of complexity, and complexity is part of transdisciplinarity. So I don't dissociate them. It's impossible to separate them. They are two constructs that are, for me, interwoven, that are connected. So to do that, to try to find, to discover this transcomplex teacher, I decided to develop a course for teachers to try to identify this professional. And for that, I aim to investigate the nature of the transcomplex. And here it's written ESL, but in fact it's EFL teacher within a target professional development course. The identification is like, is it possible? Does this teacher exist based on transdisciplinarity and complexity? And then, if it exists, how does he put that into practice? Are his actions or her actions really complex and transcomplex? Is it possible to do it? So that's very difficult from my point of view, but it would be really great if I could achieve it. And then for that, the basis of the course will also be, it will be also grounded on complexity theory and transdisciplinarity, but I will also count on the complex educational design. This image, it was generated from Notable Kalam, an app from AI app from Google, but it is based on Maximina Freire's drawing, from what she understands what is a complex educational design. And it is, first of all, it is very different from instructional design because it's not linear. It's fundamentally non-linear. What else? It understands more or less three, I would say stages, but in fact, they are not the stages because they happen at the same time. But we have three straight stages, like preparation, where we really think about the course we are going to design, the class we are going to design, thinking about time, content, the target, the teachers we want there. We have the stage of execution, that is like learning itself. So the development itself, the decision testing, how students interact, how it is flowing or not flowing, and the reflection, that is the evaluation, the transformation, how this course must be adapted, readapted, if I need to change something in the middle of the way. And it permits me to do it almost at the same time, right? So the time I'm preparing, I'm also thinking about the execution and I'm reflecting on the process, and I am able to reflect during the process. So if I need to adjust and readjust and connect and reconnect, it's possible to be done. And what I also believe it's truly important here is that the complex educational design um, considers the needs of students, but also the needs of the teacher. So what I want from this course, or what I aim, what I desire to discover, it's also considered. So it is also important that we are part of the research itself. Yeah. And then I have already designed the course, but I couldn't have the opportunity to offer it yet, because I will do it as soon as I arrive in Sao Paulo next week. So probably from next week on, I will start the announcements. The course is called in Portuguese, Transformação Docente, that what in English would be something like the metamorphosis of teachers, but it's a pun, this ação on the screen, it's a pun with action. So it would be like the metamorphosis teachers can suffer while really acting, while really doing it. And I have here like inglês como elo de saberes, something like English as a link, as a bond of knowledges, right? So the course is more or less organized like for EFL teachers, both from public and private schools. It will be 10 to 12 live meetings. It will be recorded online, probably from 1 hour and a half to 2 hours each via Zoom. The announcements will start now in April until May, probably. And I hope I am able to have this course done in June. And it will be offered by Ciclo de Formação de Educadores, that is also from PUC São Paulo, and it's going to be offered through this cycle. What else? And then I can talk a little bit about my methodology, that in fact it's not complex hermeneutic phenomenology, but also complex hermeneutics phenomenological approach that is also complex. So complexity theory is also here. It is mainly qualitative. So I consider this approach unique because it deeply focuses on lived experiences of the participants. So my main goal here is to understand their lived experiences. So it is focused on the phenomenological part. Yeah. It is also based on textual anchor. So I have texts. The participants will write texts, or it will be transcribed by the meetings we are going to have, and I'll have their original texts. So it's precise for the phenomenon. What else I have here? It keeps the rigor. So although it is very fluid, qualitative, based on texts, but it's that is some rigor. So I will not interfere on the original texts. I will not invent things, like create from my mind. So everything will be based on the original text that I will show you soon. And this methodology is also very unique because it considers the researcher as well. So the researcher is positioned not as an objective outsider, but as an embedded active interpreter. So, of course, my opinion counts, but my opinion will be based on the texts of from the participants. Okay, and it is what I think it's important to highlight here is that this interpretation will be one of thousands of many possibilities of interpretations that will be done at this moment, at this time. So maybe if I return to the same texts in another moment, maybe I find something different. Okay. And then thinking a little bit about this methodological approach, we have what Freire calls a validation cycle that is not linear as my image, but we have the first step is like the textualization itself. So literal transcription of written texts capturing the participants' lived experience. The next step is like a kind of a refinement where I have the initial readings. I try to identify the first units of a meaning for me. Then I can go to rereading that. So we go through the step of resignification. So I can read and reread as many times as I find it important to me and try to articulate with some nouns, naming them via nouns. And finally, when I find this noun, when this, it's not a question of finding, but the noun emerges from the text. When this noun emerges from the text, I have what I call my theme. So this is what they call thematization, right? So defining the relations between all this process that is not linear like that. I can go and come back as many times as I want, like in a cycle, like in a round movement of going and coming back. So this is very complex. It's part of complexity theory, right? And then what is the outcome? Well, the outcome, I have no idea. Maybe because I'm too grounded on complexity and transdisciplinarity and this methodological approach that permits me not to predetermine what I want to find. So I don't know what the outcome will be. What I know is that I have no idea, but I'm truly curious and anxious to discover what this kind of course will bring to me, what kind of outcome it will emerge. And I truly believe that transcomplex research does not predetermine the destination, but it embraces the uncertainty of the action ecology. So I really hope that I can find something, and I believe I will find something, but I don't even know what it's gonna be, right? So that's it for a while. The idea was to bring more an overview of the research and of the research itself, even because it's being developed. I'm not done yet. It's on the way. I hope I have news for you soon. And I want also to, this is part of my references, but I want also to leave here my email and my telephone number. So let's try to connect and navigate the complexity together. And that's it. Oh, what I forgot to mention is that all my presentation was um, generated by Notebook LM. So it was my trying to try to see how it works. And that's it. I'm open. If you have any questions, I would like to listen to you.